Joe Murphy here. We're going to talk about reflection. We talked about reflection yesterday in the previous session, but reflection is such a critical thing of how we learn, especially as professionals developing ourselves, whether it's leadership and leading others, whether it's personal leadership and being part of the team. We don't think enough, and I talked about this in the previous session, so I want you to go back if you haven't seen the previous session. Go see the previous session first. Come back to this and then just pause on this one. But Freud said this best. Sigmund Freud, this psychiatrist, he said something to the effect of the goal of analysis is to make the unconscious conscious. To make the unconscious conscious. You see, what we have here, I'm going to draw a diagram. This is not the way the brain works, but it is in essence the way it is. You have the conscious mind, okay, conscious, and you have the subconscious. Subconscious is where you store all your information since you were a child. It's been stored in all these different filing cabinets. And believe it or not, it's accessible. We just don't know how to access it. Many therapists and people who go under hypnosis can access that information that you just can't pull up. But what happens is, because we're unaware of the unconscious, our conscious mind acts as the filter. It helps us see things. Now, it's got some good purposes here, but what happens is, and I want to explain this, when you are stepping off the curb, off the sidewalk, into the street, you may see a car coming down the street at you. And what happens is your eyes register to your conscious mind, which goes into your subconscious mind. And what happens is your eyes, when you're seeing this car coming at a distance, it makes a judgment from where you are to where the car is, and it starts to adjust or tell what speed it is coming at. And when you think about it, it really is a magnificent piece of work that the brain has here, because what's happening is it goes into your subconscious mind and it starts to make some judgments. And it pulls up data. It says, okay, the car's moving in at me. I got plenty of time to cross the street. If it's far enough away and you can tell it's not going very fast. But if it starts, if it's closer and it's really going at a high speed and you stepped off the curb into the street, all of a sudden what does happen is your mind goes into overdrive. You've done in an instant, you've made an assessment that you're going to get hit by this car if you do not move back up off the street. And what happens is the information comes in through your eyes and comes into your conscious mind to the subconscious mind, does a quick analysis, and you don't have to think at all. It doesn't tell you to move the right foot back first and then the left foot. You just automatically do it. You move your right foot back and your left foot back, and all of a sudden you're off the street, and the car goes by, and you get hit by the car. It is a magnificent piece of information. Now, I want you to think about all this data that's stored down there that you can pull yourself off the street, because you know what I'm talking about. You've been in that situation where you had to quickly get back up off the street, or something else where you had to make a quick judgment without thinking about it, where all your subconscious and your conscious work together with your entire body to move everything, your entire body, your muscles, your sinews, everything moved you off that street in an instant without thinking. Now, what if you could use that same power in meetings and working with people and developing relationships where you don't really have to think, because you've programmed your subconscious with the right information, with experiences, reading books, studying, and you're starting to put powerful information in, positive information in so that you instantaneously can make the right decision, or at least make the right, sort of the right information without asking questions. You can do this. But you've got to feed the subconscious through the conscious by reading, having experiences, talking to others, watching videos. And this is what I have done for the past 28 years. I made a conscious effort to become better. And I got this information, by the way, from Brian Tracy. You can feed your mind this positive information because from childhood, you may not have picked up the best information. And you can start experiencing life in a different way as you start to feed your mind new information. And then when you start testing it out and applying it through experience, you can reflect about how you used it or how it worked or didn't work and what you need to adjust. This idea of reflection plus experience plus feeding your mind new information is a powerful force. And as Sigmund Freud said, the point of analysis or reflection is to make the subconscious conscious. And when you start making the subconscious conscious, you can start to weed out of your garden all the weeds that have been growing in there that hold you back. I'm Joe Murphy. I am here for your success.